Welcome back to another week of the Lightning Cave. Still in lockdown. Okay, so this week is a bit of a mixed bag. Again, I'm not in my usual space. It's currently drying if you're at all interested. So maybe I'll show the results of my decorating next week. To be honest with you, I've only been playing one game, which is Final Fantasy. Go back and check out my review last week of Final Fantasy. But the main thing you need to know is that I've actually changed my review score. In my review video, I put an 8. It's got to 9.5. So firstly, I just want to cover off why I've changed my score, fairly dramatically. Because for me, like an 8 is an average game. And, like a lot of the games I play are around a 7.5 and 8. And 9.5 is a real worthy title. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be really surprised if any other game that comes out this year, I'm trying to think about the other games, maybe okay, so yeah, we have got some really good games that are supposed to be coming out, but I will be very surprised if any other game this year gets close to Final Fantasy. It's definitely going to go down in my top 3 games of the year. The only things I think can beat it are Elden Ring and Last of Us 2, and maybe Ghost of Tsushima. But anyway, I'm now I think I'm in the last 1 or 2 chapters, so I'm pretty ready to give my final kind of review. I'm about 32 hours in. I think I'll probably finish it at about 35. I don't know how much is left. And basically everything is perfect. I love all the characters. Like, there were things before where like Aerith was annoying me, or I thought there was too much walking around. Now when you kind of progress further into the game, you realise that all that pacing at the beginning and character building was exactly what was required. I think that there aren't any bits that are too slow, because the slow bits are there on purpose to be enjoyed, and so you can explore the world they've created. And then you get into kind of more story cutscene bits, which is like battle cutscene, but it's all done really well. And the more you use the combat system, the better you get at it, and the more fun it is to use. You have to be able to, manage your abilities. You get build up your ability bar, and you have to be able to manage that and your MP to keep your team healed, to use the right attacks, to use the right weaknesses against the enemies, and also you have to be blocking and parrying, because else you'll just get decimated in seconds by some enemies. It's very clever. The world is amazing. The graphics are fantastic. The story gets better and better and better, and also the combat gets, as I said, it does get better and better. You get more opportunities to actually fight. There's a whole Colosseum area which you can just keep going over and doing fights, and you're constantly brought back to that for various parts of side quests. I've done all the side quests on the game, I believe, because they're just so fun, and I want to do everything that the game had to offer. Now, I'm not going to go platinum it, because I don't want to necessarily spend more time getting the characters up to level 50, or collecting all the various, I don't know what, one of them might be collecting the Moogle medals or whatever. But what I really like is it's almost quite realistic, and I am basing this on not really having played the original Final Fantasy VII. A lot of Final Fantasy games feel like they are completely removed from our reality, whereas this one, yes, I know the monsters are not realistic, and obviously the weapons and stuff are a bit crazy, but essentially the story is what we're doing to the Earth is, without going too eco-friendly, it's us. We are taking all the Earth's resources out to fuel ourselves. Fuel ourselves. I'm eating coal. Fuel the electricity, fuel cars, everything else. And I feel like that's reflected in this game. And because of that, the characters feel more real. Their struggles feel more real. The world, the kind of, you care for the townspeople in there, and all that. And I think that reflection makes it more enjoyable and believable. So essentially, yeah, I have to change my score, and I had to put that in at the beginning of the game. If you've got some money left over from the furlough pay or whatever, make this game your priority. What I like a lot about it is it's not too heavy and not too light. It's kind of like that perfect middle. Like, I'm making my way through the Dark Souls games. I'm nattering on and on about it. Currently on Dark Souls 3. Sometimes it's just too heavy, too hard, and this is the perfect drop back from that. And I was going right back and playing Pokemon, Actually, that was last week's video. The week before was Final Fantasy. Last week's video I was talking about Pokemon. I was playing that, but now I've completed both of them. Kind of, I think it made me get really into Final Fantasy, and like I said, I'm very near the end. So yeah, I'm very near the end of Final Fantasy. I'm excited to finish it, and the only thing I'm really gutted about is that we might have to wait 5 years until we get the next installment. I really want to carry on this story, and from what I understand, it is a new story. It is a new story. Not new, but it's not the one that was the original game. So it gives people who love the original, a good reason to play this one. Um, just get it. Please just buy that game. And that's all I have to say on Final Fantasy VII. But that is essentially all I've been playing. Next, I'm just going to go through some games that I think are really good at the moment. Particularly, you want to be playing games online or co-op games or whatever. If you haven't played them, and actually I found out recently that my FIFA buddy Mike hasn't really ever played them, the Jackbox party games are amazing. There are loads of them. They're often an offer. I know that right now one of them is an offer on Switch. They're on everything. They're on PC, PS4, Nintendo Switch, etc., etc. And essentially, all you need is a screen and your phone, and it connects to your phone, and it puts you into all these different games with friends, and they're actually just really good fun, especially if you're having a couple of drinks. What we did as a responding lot a few weeks ago was we live shared one of the screens, and everyone else just had to have the phone. So only one person needs to own it. So maybe you can split the cost with some other people. And there's drawing games, there's games where you have to write rap, there's quiz games, there's all sorts, and just gets you really invested and kind of into it. And they're just really funny. So that's my first recommendation is the Jackbox party games. My second recommendation is if you have a Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart or Mario Party. Personally, I think these are amazingly fun co-op friend party games. Again, you can have a drink, you don't have to be concentrating really hard, you're not trying to win, you're just trying to have fun. And sometimes I think you need that, there are all these competitive online games, but you don't always want to do that, especially if you're at home with your partner. Maybe they are my fiance isn't particularly into gaming, but she loves Mario Kart, because we can just sit there and have a drink and have a few races and just pass the time, and it's kind of like a good alternative to board games. So yeah, I would say Mario Kart really I love, and I can play it all the time. So if you haven't got Mario Kart for whatever reason on Switch, go and buy it at Mario Party. And my other recommendation, something I've recently played with Luke, is Worms, and particularly the Weapons of Mass Destruction. We spent a whole night trying to find games to play, and for some reason everything we tried wasn't working online co-op. So we settled on Worms. This was very late at night, and I think we've both been drinking separately, social distancing in our own homes, but we were playing online. And I had so much fun, and I forgot how good the Worms games are. Because you can just have a chat and a laugh, and like I said, you can be half cut. It's funny how many of these revolve around drinking, isn't it? And just really enjoy the game. I'm sure you will play Worms games, but maybe go and check them out. I know a few of them have been on PS Plus recently, so I'm sure you'll have one in your library somewhere. So also you've got local co-op and online co-op on most of them now, so they're really easy just to kind of jump in and play. My next one, I'm going to plug our current series, is FIFA. For me, no matter what I play, FIFA is always going to be the best co-op game, especially couch co-op. Now, I don't really like many other sports sims, and I don't like many other sports apart from football, but FIFA just nails exactly what football is all about. Now, I don't know if it's because I've now been playing FIFA for so many years, I just love it, kind of unflinchingly almost, but you need to be really good at it. You have to put in the right controls to be good at it. You have to be tight. You have to know who your teams are, who you're putting in. And there are so many different modes, especially you can play online. You can play online by yourself, online seasons. Yes, it is difficult, but it can be fun if you win games. There's co-op seasons where you can just play with one friend and go and take on many other people. And there's also the FIFA Pro seasons where you create a pro, and I think you can have up to 11 people on one team. You've all gone on, jumped in, created your pro, and you play against other teams. Now, we are currently doing a FIFA Lockdown League where we've all created our own bespoke teams from a draft pick, and we all put them into a league, kind of like an Ultimate Teams league. So go and check that out, and that's on at the moment and coming up very shortly. And this is a kind of first time we've talked about it. There will be the respawning FC Pro Club season, where me, Mike, and Matt have teamed up, and we're probably going to get T on as well at some point to try and play against other people who've done the same thing. Now, it's difficult. We haven't won many matches, but it's a really good laugh, and I highly recommend it. If you just want to jump on, have a bit of creativity, you can choose your kits to create your players, you kind of advance your players as well. It's actually a lot more complex and deeper than I thought it was going to be. So I highly recommend FIFA as a whole. Talking about games that are a bit more serious, Call of Duty Warzone, I've talked about a few times, but I think it's because the only online shoot I really enjoyed. It's something just very different about it. Again, you can have teams of up to 3, I believe, jumping in, trying to survive, and I kind of felt like I was having a bit more of a laugh than I was on the other games of a similar ilk. That's why I prefer it. I know it's a bit of a mixed bag today, so I haven't been doing a lot of gaming. I'm just going to finish off with a few things that I think you should listen to. First up is a new Trivium album, What the Dead Men Say. If you're a fan of Trivium and maybe you've not listened to all of their albums over the years, and you've kind of gone off them and got back into them, I, for one, didn't like Ascendancy. Is that the third album? Just forget. Or is that the good one? No, the Crusade. The Crusade. I didn't. Oh God. The Crusade put me off them for years, and I got back into them, and since then it's been like they are all really good albums, and the 2 albums ago they released Silence in the Snow. It was very different, a bit more power metal, a bit more like battle-y, because essentially it was just about people dying in snow. I didn't like it. Then he came back with The Sin in the Sentence, which was a bit more back to their roots and more metal. Now the new album is possibly their best album of all time, and I think it's one of those that's going to go down with the kind of top tier albums like The Blackening and Master of Puppets. There were songs on it they released beforehand, like Bleed Into Me, which I didn't like massively, but when you listen to the album as a whole, that one song really kind of becomes a lot better because it's played at the right time in the album. So it's one of those few albums where you actually want to listen to the album from start to finish in the right order to get a real feel of what it's all about. So if you're into metal, go and listen to that, and most of the Trivium's back catalogue. There's also a few podcasts I've been listening to a lot of whilst decorating. The Off Menu podcast. I mean, I have to say that all of these are recommended to me by Luke, but Off Menu podcast with James A. Caster and Ed Gamble is amazing. They just get celebrities on to pick up the dream menu. You may not or may not have heard it. I used to really like podcasts, and I went off them for the longest time, and this has kind of made me realise how good they can be again. It's just really funny, and it's really light and casual, and Ed Gamble and James A. Caster have amazing kind of chemistry on the mic, and I think they should be doing loads of stuff together, loads of TV. And on the back of that, Ed Gamble's gone and done Lifers, which is a podcast about people who've committed their life to heavy metal and maybe have had to make sacrifices. So he just kind of interviews different band members from different bands about what they've had to do to get on in the world of metal and basically become successful or whatever. Or basically ensure that they get to play heavy metal for their whole lives. It's really interesting. It's not like a comedy one. You may expect that from Ed Gamble, but it's just really good to listen to. And the other one is only one episode in, James A. Caster's Perfect Sounds. I'm just basically feel like I'm repping them. He just gets someone on every week to talk about all of his favourite albums from 2016 because he feels it was the best year of music. The first episode is Ramesh Rag and Nathan talking about Lemonade by Beyonce. If that doesn't sell a podcast, I don't know what will. So those are my suggestions of maybe what to listen to if you've had enough of playing video games. That's it for this week, essentially. Again, it is a bit of a mixed bag. I'm going to try and become a bit more coherent and with it for next week. Cheers for watching. This is the bit where I tell you to like and subscribe. The subscriptions to our channel are very important. You don't even have to watch all of our videos, but I can promise you they're entertaining and worth the watch. Subscribing to our channel means we can keep producing content and even better content. That's all we want. We just want to entertain you and, hopefully do some good. Also, check out the website, respond.co.uk. Head over to Twitter, Facebook, follow us on social media. We'll keep reviewing, we'll keep doing news, we'll keep making videos. Stay safe and wash your hands.